into the last 7 podcast. And also philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. Really nice to be here, calm as it is, with my main cat, Mr. Ken Trainer.
Good evening, Daniel.
How's it going, Daddy-O?
It's alright.
Antonio couldn't do this evening because he's got guests over, and he texted me saying, oh bollocks, sorry, can't tonight, mate. I've got folk coming over, and I'm the chef, spelled S-H-E-F-F.
Aww. Are you just making fun of him because he's not here? Or
Yeah, I am. I'm really making fun of him.
No, but is it genuine? Like, is that
yeah, I'm going to do my best tone impression later. We're still going to go through the Twilight tone and stuff, and I'm going to lampoon him.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I couldn't do that affectionately. I love him, but I think I'd get too into it. I think he would be a Domio puppet by the end of the first minute.
I'm not worried about that. I don't mind. Talking about the treatment of tone of both the lads, really, and this would be an interesting test to see if they listen to this. I listened to an old episode. I think it was the first episode I did, episode 3.
Okay.
Because you were saying recently that it was interesting to re-listen to them
and
find out what was going on. So, for example, no, at the time,
loving the sound of my own voice.
No. I mean, yeah, there's a bit of that, and it's a good idea not to disclose it publicly that you're listening to a podcast that, you know.
No, see,
listen to repeat a podcast you're on, which is what I'm doing now.
No, mate, there's something that came out of listening to the old ones, because I wanted to see how it had evolved. I don't listen to the whole bloody thing, because I do really hate the sound of my voice, especially through the edit. It gets horrendous. But seeing how it's evolved and seeing what can change, and it just turns out that there's loads of stuff that we just don't follow up on.
Oh yeah,
that's the underlying.
We never did the Columbo thing. We never finished that. Remember that top 20 book I had?
Oh, yeah.
We never did
it's that. It's because we had no emails in. That was right. It's because of a lack of interest. So if you want to spark interest, you can email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Fucking contribute. There's enough of you listening. There really is at the minute now, and thank you very much.
Is it really? It's not just people we know?
Well, no. It can't. I don't know that many people.
No, I don't know anyone, so yeah.
So be it because of Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, like, appreciate it. But yeah, come on, like and share, and share with us. Come on, we'll have more to talk about. We won't go through the same shit. We won't just end up on God every fucking week.
Yeah, no God this week.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say though about the treatment of the lads, which is Justin and Antonio, if you're joining us for the first time. Because I listened to episode 3. Which is interesting because I'd forgotten about the bomb scare in Newport.
Oh, yeah.
About that. But also, early on, it was just before they were going to America.
Right.
And because Tone wasn't there.
He'd just come back from Greece.
Maybe that's it. And wanted to spend time, I think that's it. And there was anyway a reason. Yeah, he'd just come back from Greece. He was a bit knackered and stuff. You told the story, like the reasons he'd given you for why he wasn't coming. And you went, yeah, I think that's fair. And if you listen to that and then cut to however many weeks later when Justin wasn't available, the furore that came out.
No, mate, no, it is different.
Fucking dickhead.
No, it is different. It's way different because Tone said before, I'd given him loads of stick about it beforehand. We had like sort of texts going back and forth, and I was sort of pretending to be really pissed off. But he told me way in advance. He'd been like, "Yeah, I won't be here for this, that, and the other." So the joke with him was, I wanted it to be, I wanted you to be sort of here regularly, and now you're not through the first sort of half dozen or whatever. With Justin, I rang him on a fucking Monday to check that he was alright for Wednesday, and he was like, oh no. He'd be the first to admit it, I hope, anyway.
I don't know if he would, mate. I remember those arguments.
Yeah, it's just, it's the truth of what happened. Look, I'm very much telling my side of the story. But I welcome Justin to tell his, and it's fucking shoddy at best.
Yeah, all he's got to do is turn up, isn't it?
I know. He's a weary traveller now, I suppose. He just wants to settle down. And
he's got a better offer, Dan, regularly.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
God, he's great.
Yeah, I just thought, that there was a little difference. I haven't been privy to your text messages, obviously.
Yeah.
As everyone knows. There's only one type of text message I get from you.
Well, they've stopped. The last entry was, ages ago, so...
It was, as soon as you realised.
As soon as you read them back, I was like, come off a right bellend. So everything else is just, Ken, I hope you got that money that I left for you, etc.
No, I didn't get that text or that money, man. I don't know.
They'll change from now on. No, you're a value. I trust you. That's what those text messages say. If anything, I trust you with the most important things to me: candles and wine.
Yeah.
And other cream soda. I trust you to lend me money, safe in the knowledge that I'll give you back.
You trust me as a sort of butler.
Oh no!
As a sort of assistant, as a sort of PA, getting your shopping in, doing your laundry.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm wearing the correct outfit now.
Ken has never done my laundry. Not that I haven't asked him.
It's not that I think it's beneath me. It's because thinking about it now, there could easily have been a text message saying, before you leave the house, I've left some washing in the machine. Can you switch it on or can you hang it out?
No. Those text messages because I couldn't possibly do the thing myself. If I've left the laundry in, that's my own fault. That's fine. But if I forgot cream soda, then there's a way that I can mend this. I've never actually go through my fucking Grundies, clean or not.
No.
You'd see the fucking state of my underpants that I've had for 12 years or so. It's bad news.
That's a good amount of time for some underwear.
No, they're not in good nick. They're not.
You're still wearing them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm saying I normally have to put them on in sort of two pieces, like a left leg and a right leg. Just tie them together in the middle. A sort of effeminate codpiece. Best thing that's happened to you this weekend?
I went to London on Friday.
Nice.
It's good fun. It's been an alright week for good things. Thursday night, went driving again.
Oh.
Second time. In an empty car park. Yeah, learned how to change gears a bit. Only from first into second, because there wasn't space to sort of.
We'll get a video of that, I think, from your mate James. Check it up on the old Facebook, on the old Twitter.
If you ask him, yeah.
Excellent, good. I'll get his number.
He'll probably want he'll probably send you loads of videos.
Yeah, no, I just want the ones of you driving. Yeah. Oh, that's some good she-mail porn. Thanks, James. That's really interesting. Nice. Game of Bones. All right, an erotic take on the Game of Thrones thing. Excellent. Just the ones that Ken driving will be fine.
He knows you're a fan.
Of you driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was great, and then on Friday went to London. One of the things that was cool about it was bizarrely we went to London from Newport on the megabus, but we came back on the train.
Cat woke me up, motherfucker, because you waking up woke the cat up. So you didn't wake me up, but you sort of did.
She was well excited. She was like, because the bus was at 20 to 7 in the morning. So I got up an hour earlier. So 20 to 6. So the cat was loving it. And then, I left the house. But it wasn't too bad. I've done that sort of trip before and been kind of wiped out by sort of 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because the train we booked back was 9:15 and I was thinking it was all going to go a bit wrong, but it didn't.
It's good. Good for the megabus.
Yeah. It's alright.
Did it take the 3.5 hours out advertised or the classic? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, right.
Yeah, no extra traffic. We weren't stuck anywhere. So it was good for that.
I suppose super early, but having said that, it's it's the time you get to London, isn't it?
Yeah.
The surrounding area.
Well, that's the thing. This is very boring for anyone listening, but the 6 o'clock bus, it's usually 9 by the time you're hitting London, and then you're fucked. You're stuck in traffic for at least an hour. But this one, we seem to, obviously slowed down when you got into London, but, good.
Free advice.
Yeah, if you want any travel advice, email me through the last 7 podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I'll be more than happy to assist, yeah.
Ken's travel advice.
Yeah, I'm very interested in transport. How do you think Justin gets around?
So you fuck up the trains and you make everything late.
It's all me, mate. It's all me. I give him loads of advice.
Justin's personal travel agent. So you got it down. Personal travel agent, butler. You got a hell of a host of skills. You can probably work for the royal family.
I will. Can you imagine what that job must be like?
How do you get the jobs in the fight? How do you get jobs there? Do you know a guy or?
Well, what's the how are you qualified to be a butler? Just a butler anyway. Never mind at that level, because that's like one of the top butler jobs.
There must be butler school. Look up butler school.
Butler school.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you this week, man?
I don't know. It's not been too bad, really.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. I can't really think of any. I wasn't, brushing cat shit or anything like I was last week, or anything else. Yeah. Nothing's gone horribly wrong.
Brilliant.
No nasty surprises.
Love it.
What about you?
I want to go see Cardiff City on Saturday
Ah, of course you did. Yeah.
with my beautiful friend Amy, who I hope is listening. Hi Amy, how's it going?
Hello, Amy.
Yeah, Cardiff won 2-1. It was absolutely fucking awesome. Atmosphere was great. I did some work at Cardiff City Football Club before with our work through the Strikers programme, and it always seems like it always seemed like a nice stadium, like a bit more. There's certainly loads more room when we were sat down. I've only ever been to sort of. I haven't even been to the Emirates. I've been to Highbury before. I've been to Anfield. I've been to Goodison Park. I've been to Old Trafford. I've been to the Hawthorns loads. Yeah, and they're quite sort of they're fucking massive for a start for the bigger teams. But there's no real room, and there's kind of there is quite a bit of detachment. Obviously, you can only get pretty sort of awful seats as well. But we were sort of 2 rows from the front. It was fucking terrific. Really tense. Yeah, Cardiff came good in the end.
Who did they play?
Sheffield Wednesday. They won 2-1. A couple of ex-United players as well. Kiki Makeda and Fabio Da Silva. Excellent turns for Cardiff City. Really, really good. Definitely my highlight of the week, man. Worst thing that happened. No, I'm sweet. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm sure the more I thought about it, try and think of the best things of the week first, and see if anything else tails off from there. 'Cause only with the best thing you think about other elements of that best thing and why it was good. So yeah, not having a worst thing of the week is all right. Yeah. It's only good when they're funny anyway. If it was ever like, oh yeah, my granddad died. It's not something we can ever fucking bring up. Do you know what I mean?
It can't be too bad.
No, although yeah, it would be quite literally the worst thing.
Well, as you've said to me many a time, keep it light.
Yeah, keep it light.
Don't say any actual bad things.
We leave that to Antonio.
Yeah.
Anything that could cause, a fatwa, we'll just leave to him. Or an all-out war.
Yeah, but if it was a fatwa, I think I'd be all right, but I think you'd be in trouble as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Because like we talked about Salman Rushdie the other week, and it wasn't just Salman Rushdie; it was anyone involved in the publication of the book, wasn't
That's
it?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, Antonio for saying something on the podcast, and anyone involved in its publication, which technically isn't me. And I'm.
You were on the podcast. You represent. You knew what it was about when you came in.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
you don't tell me. You don't tell me anything in advance.
No, that's right. It's because you'd go, oh, Dan, no, come on, no. There's enough jokes about, God. No, you wouldn't have it. You took me round. On
the best and worst thing, though, I mean, it was we got Georgina's birthday present sorted.
Yeah, we
did. Pretty happy about that. But thinking about it, I mean, you never know, mate. It could all go wrong. She could hate it, and then that could be the worst thing of the week next week.
Oh, don't say that. We've already had that whole situation being the worst thing. Because it's our own fault. Should have nominated ourselves for Cunts of the Week for that, actually. Thinking about it, that might have been the better apology. Well, it's coming up anyway, Cunt of the Week, and, it's pretty close to home.
Okay.
It's not you.
Oh, well. Is it somebody else who's not here? You're not bashing Justin again.
Neither of them are here. Fucking horrible cunts.
On the subject of Butler School, if you type in Butler School, you don't get some odd gay porn or anything like that. You get butlerschool.com. It's the International Butler Academy. Butling and House Management School by royal appointment. Butling and House Management. Butling. Not Butlins. Butling. Yeah. Right.
They used to just be in charge of the cellars, didn't they? That's what they were called, bottlers, I think, first.
I don't know. I mean, before going, the first thing I looked at was the tuition cost.
Oh.
Obviously. Now, it's an 8-week Butler program, okay?
An 8-week BP. Yeah.
Your investment includes, but is not limited to, 8 weeks of superb training by devoted ultra-professional trainers in a magnificent training location, a beautiful castle located in one of the prettiest towns in the Netherlands. A traditional 3-piece high-quality Butler uniform plus 2 white shirts with French cuffs, cufflinks, 4 pairs of white gloves. A large pilot briefcase, writing pad, pens, office supplies, a Butler workbook, a tie, suspenders, armband, apron, umbrella. Armband.
In case of mourning for the master of the house.
Or a sudden political shift, perhaps, who knows? Depends where you end up, mate.
Yeah, that's I first worked for the Reichenbachs.
Apron, umbrella, pocket knife, wine bottle opener, pocket watch, baseball cap, manicure set, shoe shine kit, and more. Excellent accommodation, blah blah blah. It's, you know.
So what are they turning you into? Like the Swiss Army butler when you leave? You haven't got to carry all these things at once, have you? Or is that the final test at butler school?
Probably. It's like in the army, isn't it?
You got to wear, you got to wear and use all this shit.
If you can yomp to your, if you can yomp to a high class picnic. All hot and cold snacks, all hot drinks, tea, coffee, hot chocolate, all cold drinks, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, Sprite, Orange.
What the?
All
Orange?
fresh fruit and candies. Even late night pizzas are included. All transportation. You get up to 50% reimbursement if you're economy class air or train travel to or from the Netherlands. It's great. There's loads of stuff. All the documents, graduation stuff, professional photographer, you get that. There's free Wi-Fi at the school.
How much?
All your meals, including on your free days, breakfast, lunch and dinner, all prepared by the in-house Michelin star chef.
What the fuck?
Surprised they haven't been there on one of your MasterChef programs.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, single private bedroom, fully furnished apartment. 8 weeks in the Netherlands. What do you reckon, Dan? It's in euros.
20,000 euros.
No. Less. You'd be surprised, Dan. It's a steal. 13,750 euros.
Fucking hell. That's not bad. That's really not bad. For 8 weeks.
Yeah, with that, but you pay that, you'll get some of it, your travel costs back, all your meals and everything. So basically...
Yeah, but you only have one travel cost, which is from here to the Netherlands, and then you put up in a fucking apartment, it says.
Yeah. And then you're paying your rent and your
all
food.
Inclusive. That's brilliant. Oh, man, we should raise the money. Make a film about going to butler school.
I think, yeah, the curriculum. The Life of a Butler is one of the courses. It includes history and traditions, personal traits, technical skills, personal and professional standards, and service in detail. The Modern Butler includes the usage of cutting-edge technology. The TIBA Butler's online platform and more.
Would Sir like to wear the laser cravat for polo?
Now you do stuff on staff management, house management, table management, laundry management, valeting skills, communication, cultural differences, interpersonal skills, body language, remembering names and making conversation, telephone manners, presentation skills. Yeah, if you forget who pays your wages, you're screwed. Pets includes responsible animal care, animal welfare, pets' behavioural needs, dog and cat grooming, etiquette and protocol, addressing persons of different cultures and titled persons, acquiring social confidence.
I was thinking that,
social and business correspondence, common sense, good manners and consideration.
Common sense, that's bollocks. You can't teach common sense.
Cooking.
Well, you've got a butler, you've got a fucking chef, haven't you?
And then miscellaneous. Includes travelling with your employer, relocating the household, chauffeuring techniques, security, character building, and much, much more.
Chauffeuring techniques. Are you able to drive a car? Yes, excellent.
Could you drive this car in this hat? Yes.
Your gloves have been heavily starched and have stuck to the steering wheel. What should you do?
They've got a practice lab. A very large room in the castle, which is set up for it's about 2,000 square feet.
Chauffeuring skills, pet care, pet welfare, pet behavioural needs, chemistry.
Yeah, they got all these different sizes of table,
just in
different
case you're
china, crystal, cutlery, glassware. Yeah, they teach you everything, mate.
Butler school sounds fucking wicked.
It is, mate. There's even they do there's some specialised training, okay? Etiquette and protocol, hotels and resorts, property management, and luxury yachts.
There's the training. You just pay that for the fucking holiday. Be shit at being a butler, but you've paid, so just do it up. Oh, you coming down for cutlery class? Nah, I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna watch the telly and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll fail butler school. Yeah, I know, but I've paid for it, so I'm not, am I? I'm just gonna be a terrible butler.
And saying, yeah, if you own a yacht, you're a captain or your crew, they got 4 yachts to train you on.
Only 4?
Only 4.
What would you call it on a take of only fools and horses? Only yachts and something.
Well, the obvious one to go for is seahorses.
Yeah.
But that's not.
No.
I don't think there is an equivalent, mate. I don't think you can transpose. Well, they couldn't, could they? You can't transpose only fools and horses to the rich world.
No, you cannot. No.
Rich isn't really funny, is it?
Well, you got more places to go with rich people. It's like the very sort of quick interlude in Batman that is obviously a heavy part of the story. oh, how can you afford all these stuff? Oh, he's Bruce Wayne billionaire, great, and then move on. You know what I mean? It's like, that's fine, but you're right. It's not funny. It's a means to an end. You know what I mean? In storytelling.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For Batman, it's one of the core things.
Yeah.
That's one of the, in it, because it's like he's billionaire playboy by day, but by night he's out, beating up criminals and stuff in his batsuit. But
he must sleep. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I just feel like on the rich isn't funny thing. It's I can't really think of a. I mean, I guess in Absolutely Fabulous they were reasonably rich, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing, man. Loaded, but with no taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the joke.
Like, like a lottery winner.
I just think it's difficult to sort of empathise, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
of
most
course.
people with.
Can't relate to it. It's got to be relatable. It's kind of cliche, but again, they exist for a reason.
No, but that's the thing. It does, and I think it's hard to feel sorry. Like, because a lot of comedy's built around misfortune and things. It's hard to think of someone's misfortune when they.
Well, Arrested
right?
Development is a wicked example because they're loaded for the first minute and a half or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's the ultimate misfortune followed by several series of misfortune.
Yeah, and the whole show's about that, but it's
terrific as Arrested Development.
Yeah. I think because they're brought down to that level very quickly, that's what allows all the comedy to happen. And
yeah, of course.
I mean, it's quite similar to Only Fools and Horses in as much as it's about striving to better yourself.
Better yourself amongst incompetence.
Yeah. And those things before you, they're all, it's across everything really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That striving, that desire, that's what a lot of comedy is about. But if your characters are already rich, it's difficult to.
Yeah, they don't have any aspirations, so it's.
Or they make them stupid. Like Absolutely Fabulous is kind of an example, I think, but it's probably a better one. Think about Prince George in Blackadder the Third.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Course.
It's like they have to be utterly stupid and a source of ridicule, but never the focus, because you couldn't have just that in and of itself. Like, he's there to show you how smart Blackadder is, but Blackadder still kind of wins but doesn't quite. I know he does at the end of that series, but anyway, I'll stop rabbiting on now.
No, it's good, man. That's good. It's a wicked insight.
I don't have a real point to say. I've not thought about this before, but thinking aloud, I think that's correct. I can't think of an example of. Email in. Is there a comedy that stars rich people? Not stars. Obviously, a lot of them star rich actors and actresses, but is there one that the lead characters are wealthy?
Yeah, send us an email, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at thelast7. Tell us there. Yeah, rich people at the forefront of sitcoms or anything. There's bound to be one that we haven't thought of. In a slight switch around, because we normally do This Week in History at the end.
Yes.
So I figured we'd just go for 2 in 1, because it's conversational. This Week in History, followed by This Week. So This Week in History, in 1997, scientists first established the link between the brain disease VCJD and BSE.
Oh.
So the mad cow disease outbreak. Fucking awful. I remember shitting myself. I was 10 years old and just thinking, I'm pretty sure I've eaten cow. And we're all going to go mental. We're all going to start eating each other. That's what I remember. I thought humans started eating each other because cows were eating cows, and that was why it happened. I'm sure I said that in school and just said it so much that I believed it.
Did other kids believe you as well?
I'm sure a few of them definitely did, yeah. Started gnawing on each other just to see if we can get out of PE.
Who was the tastiest kid?
What, the hardest, like? Or
no, if you were gnawing on each other to get out of PE.
Oh, right, no, that was a dreadful lie. I would have remembered the tasty kid. I was quite fat. It wouldn't have looked out of place if I was just gnawing on a kid in between snacks. This week in 1978, Pope John Paul dies after 33 days in the job.
Ah, yes. The year of 3 popes?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
That's right, yeah, of course, because one of them had to die for him to succeed, and then, John Paul II straight afterwards, and he had one of the longest papal reigns next to the shortest ever in history, that is 33 days. Died of a heart attack whilst reading in bed.
What was he reading?
Bible, probably. I think that's it, isn't it?
Bible, probably. They must have. Do they think they have other? They must have other books.
Imagine the fact he was reading the Bible for the first time. He's gotten to that point. He's gotten to the College of Cardinals, thinking, "Oh, I'm in fucking trouble when they find out if I've got a, I don't think it's Latin that I'm speaking, but they all seem to agree, unless they all can't speak it. Oh God, he's so paranoid. Then he got elected to Pope, going right now I'm infallible. That's fine. And he actually thought, well, since I'm in the job, I better fucking read it. About 4 pages in, I had a heart attack.
You could do a show that was about someone trying to bluff their way through it, not being the Pope, but going to vicar school, whatever, going into the priesthood.
For an easy life.
Well, not for an easy life, but I think you could get quite far. Now, this isn't. I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but I think you could go and, based on your sort of general knowledge anyway, that you know from school and you pick up, because I don't know if we're a Christian culture. I know David Cameron
Oh,
say that we are, but what I mean by that is that we're a Western culture, in the sort of Christian tradition, as opposed to like somewhere like China or India, or, you know what I mean, or in the Middle East. So we're like that. So you kind of grow up knowing a bit about stuff like that. There's some things you just know. Do you know what I mean? You know what a Dalek is. You know the origin story from the Bible. That really does show my geek nature. I realised that as I was listening back to that episode the other week, where I call it the origin story. It's like he's not a comic book nerd, is he? But my point is just that you know some of those things, and I think you could go there and teach you bits and pieces. But I reckon you could pick up stuff from other people's discussions, and you could kind of pass off opinions as your own. And as long as you selected the opinions you were going to pass off, and could say them with a correct conviction, I think you could probably get quite far.
You could easily do that. I think you could. Just hearing two people argue, you could easily pick a side, but there is sort of one rule book. Do you know what I mean? You can always refer to that. The first day of vicar school, the guy says, "Okay," like sits and sort of rolls his sleeves up, sits on the edge of the desk. "Okay, guys, now you're in the service of God, but for this 12 weeks, you're in the service of me. Okay." There's a guidebook for this job, we all know what it is. And he just takes the Bible out of his desk and he'll go, "Oh, yeah. Take out your Bibles. Page 1, you, what's your name? Timothy. Alright, Timothy, let's go."
You read the Bible, you get those, like reading guides, like if you were going to do it, read a bit every night.
Yeah.
There's like people have written guides to doing that, haven't they? Like as courses. So you don't start at page 1 with the book of Genesis. You start with a particular verse, don't you? And you build through and read bits. And it's like designed so that after, I don't know, a year or whatever, you've read the whole Bible, but just not in order, but in such a structured way that you can get...
There'll be a few stories that you know, and they'll be like, right, all it is sort of 4 pages in between this thing with Moses and this other thing. So yeah, just read from that point onwards, because that'll stand you in good stead. When in doubt, Moses. That was his catchphrase. That was part of his marketing. That's why he got all the...
Moses?
Yeah. When in doubt, Moses. Just sort of, he had that. It was like that. That was the zeitgeist between the slaves, and then and then of course he had God's help, so no trouble. So that was the Pope. He died. This week in 1938, British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain is hailed as bringing peace to Europe after returning from Germany with a treaty in his hand, signed by Hitler. Not so much a treaty, just sort of a gentleman's agreement that Germany didn't have any desire to go to war with Britain again. So, can you imagine his fucking face a year later? Poor bugger, Neville Chamberlain, going, well, war is not going to happen. And then just sitting back at home and going, I'll be remembered as the Prime Minister who brought peace to Europe after the atrocities of the only world war we'll ever see. When I read it, which was on the BBC website on this day, there's like a little summary of points after the story, because there's like a bit of the article from the day sort of revised and updated, but gives you the general spec. And then there's an update, and the first line on it in blue, Hitler didn't keep his promise. And this week in 1995, O.J. Simpson found not guilty.
I remember it very clearly, yeah.
Yep.
On TV.
Yeah, it was. It was
Everywhere.
on TV for the full year as well.
Yeah.
Every fucking, most days.
It's massive, yeah. I remember asking my dad about it, what he thought, because I didn't really understand it,
No, right.
But
I was 8 or 9.
I remember asking him about it, what he thought would happen, and he said, as we were waiting for the verdict,
Yeah.
and he said that he thought that he did it, but that he would get away with it.
Oof.
who knows if he was right.
I remember my mum watching it as well, but I don't really remember the reaction or anything. I just knew it was on, and I thought, yeah, it was cool that they were letting us watch it.
It's interesting now because it's not like when I say like while we were waiting for the verdict, we weren't watching it live. It was just as it,
of course.
But things like that. Because think about my dad. My dad born in 1960, and one of his great memories is my granddad waking him up in '69 with a moon landing.
Oh, wicked!
To watch that, I mean, OJ's not the equivalent of that for my life. I think.
No. What is the equivalent for us?
I don't know. I really don't know. In terms of big, because the one big event in our lifetime that a lot of people were watching or defines where you were is the
9/11
World Trade Center attacks. But that's more like the JFK assassination, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know where you were.
Landings.
As opposed to, you should have been there.
Yeah. Because the moon landing is kind of like, you make a big deal out of it. You couldn't say, like, where were you when they switched on the Large Hadron Collider,
No, I can't.
At work was the answer for me.
Yeah. They should have built a small one first, see how that went.
Yeah, see if there was a lot of, interest in it. But yeah, I really don't know. That's an interesting point. What's the equivalent for our lifetimes? What's the thing that people have tuned in to see? What's a positive thing that's brought a lot of people together all around the world?
If you're 30 years old, email us at thelast7podcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. What is the defining moment of our lifetime? Felix Baumgartner. How about that? Jumping from a bit of space. So it's still space themed, but he went to a bit of space. Not quite the moon, but he went the closest you can get to the moon without floating away. And then jumped. Wasn't it horrible that start? Okay, I'm not sure if it's true or anything, but like 4 million people switched off when his parachute opened.
Really?
Because he was going to it. Like I'm sure I heard or read or saw that on TV.
That sounds about right, because he's going to survive it. He's not just going to smash into the ground.
I know, right? I think the footage might have stopped if there was a live feed and they were like, yeah, he's not responding.
Yeah.
So probably cut this. Protests in Hong Kong though this week.
Yeah.
Good job Justin's back when he fucking was.
Good point, yeah.
Jeez, oh. How was Hong Kong? Full, mate. Really busy.
It looks it. I was watching footage from a drone.
Oh,
It
nice.
flew over and about the streets and everything, yeah. Like just sort of, I just really, illustrating the scale of it.
Leader of China has, come out saying,
Lung.
yeah, go home.
Yeah. They've been cleaning up though.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Good on them.
Yeah, it's efficient. It's pro-democracy, right? That's the whole bag.
Yeah. It confused me for a couple of days though, because I didn't know what HK was. I kept seeing it on websites and things.
HK protest.
HK protest. What the fuck? What's HK?
I really hate Harvey Keitel. So, we've got to take him down because he's doing bloody insurance adverts or whatever it is now.
Yeah. Or some clothing label that he founded.
Oh, Jesus. Love Harvey Keitel though. Bad Lieutenant's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Nicolas Cage one. Apparently it's alright.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what you're going to get from that one. Nicolas Cage is the Bad Lieutenant.
I was going to say...
I don't believe that.
You don't hear that very often, do you?
I'm all for him having his face chopped off and mixed up with Saturday Night Fever, but...
No, that's a bad film.
Yeah, it is a bad film. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't buy him as fucking...
I mean, good Nicolas Cage films. Leaving Las Vegas, is that what it's called?
Yeah. It Could Happen to You. A heartwarming drama about a lottery winner who says to a waitress in a diner after a terrible day that if he wins the lottery, he'll split it with her and keeps going his promise. Spoiler alert. They fall in love. And yeah, they end up together. His current girlfriend turns out to be a total bitch. When it turns out that he is definitely the one who's made the mistake. Oh, honey, I promised this waitress if I won, I'd give her the money. And I have to keep good on my promise. Do you, though? Because, he seems to be in love at the beginning with his current missus, and then money changes you. Got a nomination for Cunt of the Weekend?
No.
Right.
I've got a nomination for Hero of the Week.
Awesome. We'll hear it in a second. Cunt of the Week is going to be nice and brief this week because it's me for getting well into and sourcing that story about the woman with 3 breasts on the last show, which it turned out to be an obvious fake.
I don't think it was that obvious.
Yeah, I think though if I'd have thought about it a bit instead of just doing what I profess never to do, which is, you got to look at the evidence, man. You got to look at, like, think about it from start to finish, and, whether or not it makes sense. So that's why I'm cunt of the week, because it's almost hypocritical to have gone, 3 tits, look at that! Look at this! Look at that, what a stupid bitch. I think she's a stupid bitch because it was a prosthetic and it was just, again, for a bit of publicity and whatnot. But, no surgery or anything.
No, I don't think you did, though. I think you were saying that because it was part of the reasoning was for fame and things. And that was still the reason she did it, even though it was fake. Yeah,
you're right. I'm actually brilliant. Nice one, Ken. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think you said, like, oh, look at that. I mean, because even if you said, like, all right, it says more about us and the way we would believe someone would do that to become famous, that's still what she did. It just wasn't a permanent operation, was it?
Nah, that's right. Yeah, well, that's me vindicated.
That's you, right. So no cunts of the week.
Right, brilliant. So I'm obviously a nomination for Hero of the Week, Ken.
Oh, no, I got that far.
Whoa, all right.
My nomination for Hero of the Week is a gentleman named Chris Dodd. You see this story today?
No. What's Chrissy Boy up to?
He took a photo of a poster in the window of Sainsbury's, a massive poster, and tweeted it, right? Now, it's got a picture of a wallet, like sat on a table with a 50p piece next to it, and it says, 50p challenge. Let's encourage every customer to spend an additional 50p during each shopping trip between now and the end of the year. We are Sainsbury's. Now, it's obviously, it's not a poster that's supposed to be on public display.
No, of course not.
It's a motivational poster for the staff. Let's try and get them to do this, So Chris Dodd took a picture of it and tweeted it to say, at Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Said, not sure this is supposed to be in your window. Sainsbury's tweeted back saying it should have remained behind closed doors and was meant only for staff. A Sainsbury's worker called Ross, who was the managing Sainsbury's Twitter account, asked Mr. Dodd to reveal which store it was in. But Mr. Dodd refused and insisted he wanted people to know what the company was up to.
That's okay.
And so I think for that, I thought it was quite cool. It only lasted a few hours.
No, that's fine. I like the style though.
Yeah, me too.
That's really good. I don't think it's that bad for Sainsbury's considering what.
Well, to be fair to them, yes.
It's not
they want your money.
No, that's right.
They've never been shy by that.
Yeah, it's not like sort of overestimating your income by £250 million or anything. It's not. Better supermarkets have done worse things.
Better?
Nah, Sainsbury's is better.
You wish you could shop in Sainsbury's, mate. They wouldn't let you in.
I used to shop in Sainsbury's, but
I know you didn't.
Well, I say shop. I bought some things for cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big Mac. Sewing kit for extra pockets and the like. £250 million.
The Tesco's thing, ridiculous.
That is a non-trivial. That's not. Oh, I forgot to carry the one. It might be, but very early on in the founding of Tesco's. When it was first done with a loan for sort of £10,000, but somebody thought it was 10 million.
I was just curious how long they'd known about it.
Yeah, great shout.
Because I was just thinking, maybe they just, should we just not tell anyone we've made this mistake? Just see how long.
Yeah.
Probably the last 10 years.
Till somebody independent has a look at the books, and that's it. Oh fuck! Oh Jesus! What if they find out? Well, they might not find out. They're definitely gonna find out. Somebody looks at this. We've done the maths all wrong. We've been writing jokes in that book for the last 4 years. It's all full of big fucking fallacies and the like.
Some good material in there.
Oh no, it's great.
It's got a worth of its own.
Yeah, we should definitely write that sitcom. But I'm saying that when they see the books and when they see for the last 2 pages, it's a heartwarming bloody sitcom. That's about 2 mates.
That's your rich sitcom. Where people who are rich but aren't really.
There was a wicked...
worried that someone's going to find out, but they got all the money, because what's the difference? I know what the difference is, but at the same time, it's not, it's just fucking electronic anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they were projections, so they were saying, they were operating on the projections that these people gave for the next year or whatever. So they could have been, if they'd have gone for the whole thing, £250 million over budget, and that kind of fuck you from next April. We were saying though, I doubt it was on an adding machine just yesterday or when the story broke, and the guy was just doing the calculations for the last month or so. Better get up to date with the books, mate. It's been a few months. Oh.
And as I said, the other guy said, "Should we just not tell anyone?
Yeah.
See how long?" Because it probably was a fucking Adam machine. It was so long ago.
Yeah, that's right.
If there's one thing I know though about walking at that level, and I've never done it, so I don't really know anything. But from the outside looking in, or from the bottom looking up, should I say, it does seem to me like you fuck up like that, you get a big payoff.
Yeah.
You go and work for someone else.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's bankers that were fired. You know what I mean? Yeah, Governor of the Bank of England. It's like, no way. Right, you've overseen this financial crisis. It's absolutely ridiculous. You must lose your job. You must lose your £800,000 a year salary and make do with the pittance of your pension that you can only cash now, mere £294,000 a year. Scumbag. Get out of this. Get out of this bank and go back to the hovel that you can afford with that yearly payout. Piece of shit. Alright, he's gone. Money fight. Something I discovered this week, and I'm quite proud of. And hopefully it's going to build up a relationship with another podcast that I really like called There's No Such Thing as a Fish. Now, I have borrowed a fact or two from there before, only briefly, and only if it comes up sort of organically in conversation. It is clear to me that they've done the same thing, but to a bit of a higher level. Whereas I've normally sort of given them credit, I think they must have been listening to our podcast because in the last week they've brought up Yetis. More specifically, how it's easier to escape a female Yeti than it is a male Yeti.
What?
Yeah, these are Yeti facts. And because
Yeti facts.
Yeti facts. Because the female Yeti has got long.
Is that like ultra facts?
Yeah. It's exactly like ultra facts. People will believe them because the female Yeti's got long sagging breasts that are normally worn around the neck like a scarf. That they'll sort of trip her up and that, so it's easy. But if you are running away from a male Yeti, it's better to run downhill because they've got long hair. It'll get in their face and they'll get disorientated. So yeah, there's some Yeti facts there.
Who runs away uphill?
But also they brought up Coco the gorilla. Not only Coco the gorilla, but almost verbatim what we were talking about, and her having pets, specifically the cat or ball. Yeah. They also said something that we missed. I say missed. We probably just didn't think the content was good enough. But this was amazing. There was a huge sink that was in her enclosure, Coco's enclosure, that had been ripped off the wall. And when they went in and signed to her like what happened to the sink, the gorilla first of all blamed a female handler that she had. She was like, Susan broke sink, sad, and then blamed the cat, and then blamed all ball. Said cat broke sink.
Probably what finished all ball off. It wasn't an accident, it was a suicide.
Yeah, it's just be said. This huge sink. And then they signed, well, we don't believe it was the cat or Susan. And then Coco signed back gorilla broke sink. Sad. Bad gorilla.
Do you believe that?
It was on There's No Such Thing as a Fish, and I'm assuming they checked it's hosted by the QILs, mate.
I know what it is.
They must check their facts, at least as well as we do. So this is a big shout out to the guys at There's No Such Thing as a Fish. It's alright to share information, that's great, but just a bit of a heads up first and maybe a shout out on your podcast. So yeah, you can get in touch with us, follow us on Twitter at TheLast7, or email us thelast7podcast@gmail.com. Send you a link to this episode and we'll compare notes properly this time. Not after I listen to your show.
Because one thing I'd like to know then, from the QIL, if this is something they can answer.
Cool.
Are there people going around trying to teach other gorillas sign language, see if they can communicate with that kind of language? Because that's what it is, right? Coco was supposedly able to learn
1,000 words.
Yeah, right, okay. Of like what, American Sign Language?
Yeah, so you'd get by definitely on 1,000 words.
So but is there any sort of research projects of people going around zoos or whatever, or going up?
You've got an everything machine in front of you, mate. And that just leads me on nicely to talk about something else that was on There's No Such Thing as a Fish. Squirrels, Ken.
What about them?
Squirrels are fucking interesting, mate.
I love them.
Yeah? What's your favourite type of squirrel? Because it may change after this.
Well, it probably will then, but all I'll say is my favourite squirrel memory, which was...
Squemery.
No, I was on Princess Street in Edinburgh once, many years ago, in the late 90s, I believe, and... yeah. It was like that. There was some red squirrels in this little pot, and people were feeding them, and the guy had a bag of McCoy's crisps, and he was throwing them McCoys, and they're so massive compared to a squirrel that they were holding it with both hands and just like chomping down. Like the head just wobbled its way down. It was amazing.
Like a corn on the cob.
Yeah, basically, it just went like this. And then he'd rub his hands together and look around and chuck another one and they'd pick it up.
It was like, yeah, full of salt as well. You're like, oh, this is amazing. Because then they could have salted nuts. They'd go back. They think that this salt is brilliant. Just get a bit of salt on whatever nut they've got. They've got beer nuts. And then all they'll do is hassle you for salt.
Just before that, talking about animals and the ridiculous amount they can eat. Because if you think about it, like, if I presented you with a McCoy's crisp that you had to hold in both hands.
Yeah, and gnaw across.
You couldn't eat the whole thing.
I don't think I'd want to. Yeah.
But animals don't seem to, we're animals as well. I think other animals don't. That doesn't seem to put them off. You were telling me a story about Marilyn yesterday.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I made this wicked sort of Greek pasta bake. It's pretty much a bolognese sauce, but it's got cinnamon and nutmeg and some other stuff in it. And then you bake it up. So I had to make the sauce first and then chuck it in the oven with pasta and a white sauce. But I left quite a bit, like an inch deep in. Cause I made it in a wok. About an inch deep left with this bolognese sauce. And then left it, and then came back from work. No, I came back from the leisure centre in the morning, and half of it was gone. Oh my god, I don't know how much that would have looked to her, because it was way more than her head. If it was like, if you could scrunch it together while you're eating, it would be easily a fist size.
Yeah, you think it was way more than her stomach, mate. That's
of course.
That's quite fine.
When I came back and I'd seen that it had happened, I had to find her because I was like, she's definitely been sick or just like shat herself. That was a meaty dish. So, I had a look about. She didn't run past me when I was outside. Then it turned out, no, she wasn't fucking running anywhere. I nipped up to your flat quickly and she was just laid out on that blue chair. I was going, Marilyn, what have you done? Where's that sauce gone?
Yeah, she's still there now, mate.
Yeah. Fucking cat. I did leave it out, and it is meaty sauce, and she loves, she's got quite a refined palate into a teriyaki fish and stuff like that.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Love it. Chipotle chili sauce. It's her favourite. So squirrels, anyway, man.
Yeah.
You were saying, no, you're on about, animals that don't know. Well, it's because they don't know, they literally don't know where the next meal's coming from, so they just store up. And humans do that, we eat too much fat and sugar and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's enough. Makes us sick. I was particularly sick today after a weekend when Ethan was here, so I had like sweets and things like that in the fridge. And Nesquik cereal. And that made me feel quite poorly today. Squirrels though, man, you might change your mind. If that's your favourite squirrel memory, well, that's not going to change, obviously, but check this out. The Californian ground squirrel, when they're dealing with rattlesnakes, they will move their tail to vibrate their tails so much that they'll create enough infrared energy to seem really, really big, and they wave it in a rattlesnake's face because they know. Well, they don't know. They've evolved to know that rattlesnakes hate it.
Yeah.
Because rattlesnakes see an infrared, they'll look huge. So they just look like they've got a big tail. They look, they look like a huge animal, and they know it's just with rattlesnakes because with gopher snakes they won't do the same thing. They'll move their tail, but it won't go at the same sort of ferocity.
Okay.
Yeah. Squirrels are really going to take up a good part of this. I fucking love these facts. The South African ground squirrel's testicles are 20% of its body length. And it's able to fillet itself.
Okay.
If that was scaled out, your testicles on a human would be 35 centimetres long.
Just the testicles, though?
Yeah. But like its penis is alright as well, but it can, it's bendy enough to fillet itself. And if that's resting on top of these huge bollocks, then, yeah, certainly. South African ground squirrel's got it down.
Is that why they're dying out?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if they are.
There's a Californian ground squirrel, and what they do in order to protect themselves and their young is they chew old snake skins, and then they lick themselves and they lick their pups so that snakes will leave them alone. They've done tests where they have like things that smell of just snake, things that smell of just squirrel, and things that smell of a mixture of the two, and it will always go for the one that just smells of squirrel. Fucking genius.
Yeah.
If certain squirrels are being hunted by birds of prey, they'll run around a tree really, really quickly to disorient the bird, and the bird, when it swoops down, it'll either just clatter into loads of branches or give up because it gets dizzy.
Oh.
What? Fuck off! It's not like a dead robin redbreast or anything. It's like a big fucking eagle. falcon with talons.
Killer.
Yeah, horrible bastard. Yeah, fuck him. Little lovely squirrel. Well, squirrels, they're fucking, that's worse than the Troubles. Grey versus Red. North American Grey.
I thought
fucking shit right up.
Because my limited, I know a few things about squirrels now, but because I don't know very much, when you asked me, I thought that's what you were asking me. What's your favourite squirrel? Red or grey? And I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to pick a side.
There's an Arctic squirrel, so that one from, is it Madagascar? Ice Age probably, isn't it? Yeah, of course. So that's an Arctic squirrel, one would imagine. And they hibernate for 8 months out of the year. So a huge amount of time. The most interesting thing is when it's hibernating, its core body temperature is -3 degrees Celsius.
-3?
-3, the coldest core temperature that's been recorded on any mammal.
Was it recorded on one just before it died?
No. They all do it. Their core, the very middle of them is -3.
So I'm saying it wasn't just one and that broke the record. They all do it.
No, it wasn't like an endurance test. They didn't have like a load of them and just chuck them in
They weren't
ice
on like
baths.
a Japanese game show.
No. They'd be eating them on a Japanese game show. -3. Have that. And also, squirrels plant more trees than humans because they forget where they put 74% of their nuts.
So they're doing their bit for carbon offsetting.
That's a frank share from There's No Such Thing as a Fish to The Last 7.
Speaking about factures, they can stand down on the is anybody researching gorillas, because that's what Project Coco and the Gorilla Foundation is all about.
Look at that.
Exploring interspecies communication with gorillas for over 4 decades through an integrated process of research and gorilla care that focuses on using sign language as a primary tool for understanding the great ape mind.
Gorilla care sounds like the insurance that you get for gorillas.
Yeah, that's probably what they mean. Research and gorilla care.
Gorilla care, one word with a little R in a circle. Gorilla care. For when your gorilla needs you most. For obvious reasons, there's no twilight tone or a question of tone. But we'll talk a bit more about that when we see you tomorrow, Antonio. At George's. Although you'll probably be listening to this on Saturday. So, wasn't that awesome? Or, it's a shame you did that fucking thing. Why did you have to do that?
Yeah.
And we'll edit it as we need to.
Yeah, you really think he would have learned to keep his clothes on by now.
I don't think that cat will ever get over that. I just probably have to be rehomed.
Yeah, I think so. It's cruel, Dan. You know, Justin did the right thing winning the PDSA.
Yeah, certainly did.
RSPCA.
Well, he's getting the help he needs now, Tony, and I think that's what matters.
Yeah.
Or, everything went off without a hitch. I'm glad George really loved the gifts that we got her. If you want to get in contact with us about anything, you can email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Contribute!
Yeah. Even Lembit's been quiet this week.
He has, yeah, he certainly has. Right, we'll get on the Lembit news. We'll really smash it for next week, especially if we've got the guys here and to properly do some work as opposed to forgetting that we were doing it on Tuesday and sort of lounging about a bit. So with that, I'd really like to thank my co-participant for this evening, Ken Trainer.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Fucking legend, Ken. Always here. Because you live upstairs.
Yeah. And I'm never out.
The Last 7 podcast was recorded at my flat, edited at my flat, with additional material by Punra and DJ Alchemy. I forgot to do that bit last week. Sorry, chaps. George's birthday tomorrow.
No. Thursday.
2nd.
Yeah.
Have I got it in the first? Was the first on the calendar?
September on the calendar.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I'm sure we thought it was the 2nd. We were a day late.
I still think it's the 2nd.
For fuck's sake!
Doesn't matter. She got good gifts, And we'll
Mate,
see you
if it's
tomorrow.